can change the world. I'll be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. If I could change the world.
A cappella music is one of the most versatile and original styles of music around today, especially in the collegiate sector. Because there are no instruments needed, it can be performed virtually anywhere by anyone who wants to do it.
A cappella music is a very unique style of music where there is no instruments being used in the overall production of the music. Everything is done from the human voice, even as far as percussion. All the notes are obviously sung through the voice, and the percussion is done by a vocal percussionist. A cappella, even though there are no instruments involved, can really go to any style of music, all the way from pop to rock to alternative to country, even classics and oldies. You can do a cappella. You can really do anything a cappella. Like I said, though, everything is done with only the human voice. A cappella really is broken down just like a normal choir would be. We have sopranos, altos, tenors, and bass, along with, like I said earlier, a vocal percussionist. So really, it's the same breakdown for a cappella as it would be for a concert choir or a chamber ensemble.
He works at that all day, working for a man. He brings home a pay for love. For love.
Well, my mom's a music teacher, so music's always kind of been a part of my life. I haven't done a cappella until college. But my main reason for getting involved is because I knew I wanted to sing. I'm an elementary education major, so I knew that music wasn't going to be something that I'd be doing on a daily basis academically, but I definitely wanted it to be part of my life. So that's kind of where a cappella is kind of the casual, fun atmosphere that you can participate in that isn't necessarily academically bound.
I did a little bit of a cappella in high school. We had a select group that did some a cappella here or there for concerts. As far as collegiate a cappella, I joined Blue in the Face in spring of '09. About halfway through that semester, I was appointed the director of the group after being the assistant director, and have been the director since. And that's really my collegiate experience started with Blue in the Face, and it still is going with Blue in the Face.
Maybe I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya.
Blue in the Face is one of 9 a cappella groups on the Penn State campus, and there are hundreds more across the country. That makes for thousands of students with different musical backgrounds and different fields of study, all pursuing one passion.
It's crazy. I think we only have 1 or 2 actual music majors in the group. Other than that, everyone else is a different major. We have supply chain, we have ITS, we have a whole bunch of education people. And I think that that's kind of the philosophy that a lot of people have taken on, the fact that they don't have the time to devote to music academically, but they do have the time to kind of be a part of this club. So I think that that's kind of why we have the major spread that we do.
You've got opinions, man, we're all entitled to, but I never asked. So let me thank you for your time, and try not to waste any more time. Get out of here fast, I hate to break it to you, babe.
If performing around campus still seems new and exciting to many members, that's because it is. At only 2.5 years old, Blue in the Face is the youngest group of its kind at Penn State.
So basically, my freshman year, which is the fall of 2008, there were auditions for all the other a cappella groups, which is the same as it is every year. But apparently, which I didn't know at the time, was you were supposed to just audition for as many as you could, with the theory that only so many groups have so many openings, and good singers have to be turned away because, again, there's only 3 openings and maybe 60 auditionees. So I only auditioned for 1 group because that's what I looked at online, and didn't make it into that group. Then I got a follow-up email about 2 days later from a guy named Simeon Jackson, who was I guess he was an exchange student from the University of Leeds over in England, and he was like, well, I just still want to sing this semester, so if anybody's interested, come to this interest meeting next week in Willard. And so I went in with the expectation that this really wasn't going to take off. But from that initial meeting, there was an exec board of 5 made, and then we held auditions for our group. where we took in everybody who was interested. So that initial group of 19 kids in the fall of 2008 started Blue in the Face to be where it is now. So in our founding in 2008, we needed to make something that would make our group different from the others in order to become an actual university organization. So we decided to come up with this idea of a singing network through small groups within the large group ensemble. So right now our group is 26 members deep, but through that we have 4-member small groups. We have 13-member small groups where the group serves as a network of singers that are interested in order for people within the group to direct and to arrange their own music that they like that can't necessarily fit into the full group pieces. So that's kind of what makes us different, is that not only do we have these large group ensemble pieces, but we also have these small group specialty songs.
You make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream. The way you turn me on, I can't sleep. Run away, don't ever look back, don't ever look back.
Arranging a cappella music is very interesting because you have to think what is the in the original, what do the instruments cover that voices won't cover? So you have to arrange not only the lyrical part of the song that the soloist or the group would sing, but you also have to arrange the background music as well. I guess my favorite thing about a cappella is the fact that you can keep the original songs intact and still do it only using the human voice. It's really interesting to see. I mean, most people think a cappella, you're not using any instruments. How are you going to do this song?
Minutes, how do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee.
I think a cappella is something you have to hear. You have to actually listen to it in order to gauge what a cappella is. I don't think even me describing what it is, I don't think that gives it justice as to what it is. I mean, I've heard people, oh, I'm going to go to an a cappella concert. Well, what are they doing? I have no idea. We've had people come to our concerts before not expecting to hear what they're going to hear. So I really think if you don't know what a cappella is, in order to do it, YouTube it, go to a concert. You really need to hear it for yourself to actually foster in what a cappella actually is.
I think that music in general is a really priceless commodity to have in your life, and that people who don't necessarily have that joy in music, I think they're really missing out.
I get by